Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Back on another week here. Right on in, rolling in through August. What's going on, everybody? Great to see everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. How was everybody's weekend? Let's get to it for today. Start right here. Go to harmonictrader.com. Become a basic member. Everything starts there. And then you guys know, you got to get with the software. That's what we're working with today. Harmonic pattern collection. 30 seconds. That's all it takes. Send your username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. One or two notes from last time. A couple people asked me about the books. Yes, they're all free PDFs. You can purchase the physical, and we do give away some on Thursdays. I think Volume 3 is the place to start. So if you're looking for reading material, harmonic patterns, that combines probably the primary foundation from 1 and 2, and then includes the most recent updated strategies, management, execution, confirmation. So get that there. Great to see everybody. Welcome back. What's up, Philly? How are you? What's going on in Philly these days? Swooping Hawk, David, Miss Stephanie, Tails, Crypto Clan, and John Dwight, DC. What's going on? Let's talk about today, because listen, we're just kind of not doing a heck of a lot. We were down early. I'll show you a post or two that had a little trade early on the open, but that was about it. I'm looking at another one right now. Let's take a look at do we have a midday opportunity here? There's Nasdaq futures. S&P's off 33. Qs are basically off 2. and trying to bounce here, but we know the deal. We're in a type 1 pause, retracement, however you want to call it. Against the 4-hour chart, these are some kind of big numbers on the Nasdaq futures, and this is like immediately now. You guys know I like to deliver things that are now, immediate, kind of pressing, not just kind of gloss over, but give you some ideas for today, this afternoon, or even this week, where we have this massive bat pattern. Yeah, normally that would be bullish, but check out what happened. We decided to go sideways ever since the 9th. There you go. That's where we completed. What's the problem here? Well, yesterday, okay, we triggered a bearish signal. So that should bring us back into the zone, which it did. I don't expect much here. That's not what you typically want to see. You don't want to see this stuff drag out, go sideways and not deliver at least a type 1 move. So I'm really cautious on this bullish structure as giving us anything more than maybe short-term reactions. And you pull this against the backdrop of the daily, weekly patterns, we kind of know the situation. Let me go weekly here. Same with Microsoft and the other ones that we've talked about for a while. Hold on. I know what's going on here. There it is. So I wanted to show this first. Likely target, and we see this a lot in this, especially this kind of market. Go back and retest that bat pattern. That's yesterday's pattern. That's why we had a little bit of a bounce. But listen, last time we talked about likely objectives, targets for this pause. And, I'm still there. I'm still looking for that. But we've had a number of back-to-back structures. Look at all this stuff. And that's just a 5-minute chart. So for Nasdaq futures right now, 15.2, 15.3 is immediate resistance, and then 15K support. And that's where I'm looking for the opportunities. I'm not looking for opportunities smack dab in the middle right here, right now. Couple things here with the Qs. So this is an interesting deal going on right now with the QQQ. Last couple of days had a bearish ABCD right at the top, and so that basically caps resistance for the week, 370. I am looking at, though, check out the put options. So like the 368s. That goes into Friday, and I would be looking at Friday. I think you're going to need a little bit of time. I'll show you today's put options. But perfect type 2, I posted this morning. When we first came in here, we were right there. I'll show you that post in a second. Interesting thing is that even the put option, setting up for a perfect type 2, why is that so critical? Think of that for the pullback for right now into later in the week. Every time. Hold on. Thank you. Anyway, so let's check that. I would be looking at that in terms of short-term opportunities. Still favoring, one second, just favoring the puts on the 5-minute. And notice that we're already back in the zone, so give me some confirmation here. Where's HSI? We had one back here. Your typical dot. So we might have generated a dot there on the 5-minute, just as we're starting today. Again, something to consider for today. And here's the Qs 5-minute. Not a heck of a lot going on. In fact, it's slow, but we're still looking for this lower. The pause that we have been talking about for 2, 3 weeks now started really early July. Depending on what you were targeting, some things completed end of July, but this is the deal. And so, in the same way we were looking for this extended test 1618, 886 move, which we got, and then 2 weeks ago confirmed with the yellow dot, puts us into the pause. And that's, look, 336. We're 368 currently. I'm not going to be favoring aggressive long positions until we structurally come back and hit that. And if anything, I still say stay with those put options until we can get lower. At least generate some kind of daily oversold or weekly. I mean, you're getting close, but I think the way this is setting up, you're going to have another week or two lower until that comes in. So it's, we are what, halfway, 1/3 of the way through this pause move. That's it. And I think the only thing that's not happening here is like an in full embrace of the harmonic pattern framework. If you're not there, or I've heard some people saying, yeah, let's buy the dip. Maybe, but at what price? Here we go again with at what price, at what level. I would not be buying the dip just yet for whatever is to come. So that sets up nice. You have things like, these put options. Here's the other one I posted. The 368s. Here's today's. So there you go. I mean, I kind of like that where we are right now of there's a put option. That's the 368. Basically, you're looking for that to go well under 368, maybe 370. Excuse me, not under 370, under 368, where then you get that lower move. QQQ's down 2. You get under 368, you go 367 are likely targets. And these Qs, at least off this little pattern, and we can do this. You've got enough in the ballpark here. Hop level at 91. Another smaller pattern down there where, look, it did the type 1, came back for the 2, and now looking at least for this 60 area, 65 area, back to target 2, because it's a type 2. That's a little something for today if, as a kind of an option set up. Did we get the confirmation? No, not on that. But Friday as well is the other one to look at because that gives you more time. Somewhere in that area. Need to see this roll over. Really quick, why not look at those top 5 tech? Where are they? Apple, Microsoft. Apple's now more important on the sell side than it is on the bull side because it's like really nice pattern and then ideal type 1 reaction. We just generated an HSI signal. I mentioned this last time, and a yellow dot, but that yellow dot is based off of a higher level, already broken oversold signal. And still early. If you wanted to be a buyer here, it's still early. I think 169. So be mindful of that. We talked about some possibilities here last week, but structurally, until these can hit, you got to let this thing come in for you. Microsoft, same deal. Daily, crab up at the 1618 and it hit the 886. It did everything you wanted it to do. So now let it come back, have the 308 retest. It might drag out, it might take a while, but structurally, this minimum's got to get hit. Think of it that way. We have to be patient. We've seen that on crypto, where a lot of crypto had to go through the 1-2 process. Same deal here. So just take a look. If you aren't aware of the deal, of the situation, of what started really end of June, early July, and then really triggered by end of July, early August, with confirmation in the big symbols across the board. Okay. Now, NVIDIA had a big pop in the last 2 days, but only because, look, we have an HSI oversold reading, but that's temporary for now. That's a first step within this pullback, if you will. And you guys know I've been saying 410, 415 on the downside, and then 460. This should stay range bound. Check out the bat. You know, that bat pattern at 406 ended up yielding a really strong reaction, but I still say type 1, come back type 2. 450, I don't expect that to go above 466. I think it's probably this target too is going to control it, and we start to go into a return phase. Keep an eye on that. Look, we do have a number of things that are coming in, and I'll share 1 or 2, 3 ideas. Here's Nike, and this was a new 3 ideas from last month, finally coming in down to retest some numbers. It looks pretty bad. I mean, it really does look bad, but nice bat pattern. The only thing I want to see at this 105 test, and this is representative of a lot of these type of patterns, is give me confirmation on the retest. You're almost there. It's difficult to see this. It's a quiet August. You know, here we go again. Not a lot happening. QQQ rolling over, by the way. Those contracts are now worth 80 cents. We have to expect this. So if you guys are hanging tough this time of year and you're able to strategize, understand where we're at, I think that's, you know, it says a lot to the longer term game plan. Something like Nike, I've been waiting on this for a while, now getting really close to coming in and giving us the confirmation. And this is the process that is required for these longer term plays. You know, we want to buy, you know, go buy whatever, 500, 1,000 shares in Nike, or even if it's a 50 or 100 shares in Nike. You still have to wait for your setup, wait for the confirmation, and this is a really fine example. Getting closer. Couple of questions coming in. Evan saying he got long on that put option at 67. You're in at 67 and then stop loss at 59. Well, that's already above 80 cents. But nice. Evan's also saying, oh, you're short XRP when you hit 67. I'll get to crypto in a second. I really will, because it's I really like, I've been looking more and more at XRP, and it's probably the crypto play with the biggest fundamental story, greatest potential, I think. I think XRP will eventually get to single digits, dollars that is. It might take 2 years, but we'll talk about that. Miss Stephanie is saying about an option seminar 3 in September. Hey there, Miss Stephanie, how are you? Yes, I think we're going to keep running with these type of seminars. Do, you know, combination live trading, education, and ideas. You know, for example, the last option seminar we talked about longer term September put options in the queues and setting up for longer term call options in Intel. Intel had a nice pop yesterday. but that's a slow mover. And what I'm talking about on Intel were like the 38s or the 40s. I think I had the 36s as well, talking about in that seminar. But we'll do more of those because I think that's a place that you have to be over the next year or so until crypto really gets crazy again. Couple of more. What's going on? Izal J, what platform is better? Here's what I recommend on that. And I appreciate that setup. Everyone's got to get with the TradingView platform, and all of the information is over on harmonictrader.com. So all the levels, harmonic strength index, all of that's proprietary and available on the main platforms. Okay, and really what I tell everyone, send your username to TradingView username to HPC at SR-analyst. That's the place to start. I really think that's the first one to get. And then check out the other ones. Here, MetaTrader. A lot of people are a MetaTrader. More people are migrating to eSignal. And even though it's a paid platform, everybody's happy with that. NinjaTrader, Sierra Chart has a really nice kind of cult following too. So those are all free trials. Check that, get with that. And also Thinkorswim. So there, let me just mention that too. We have a new free trial to try that. And all of these you should try for free. Don't even subscribe until you try, please. And then we're setting it up so Thinkorswim over on this website, you can try that and integrate that on TD Ameritrade. I run them all. And I trade, I have one account on TD Ameritrade. I have another on TradeStation. Maybe I shouldn't be telling you guys this. I have several accounts, but trading accounts, just so you know, I'm on those. And then analytically, I'm running all time, multiple screens, HPC TradingView, and then this is eSignal. So, and I, again, the last couple of sessions we've talked about with options are running, I'm running on eSignal charts, and it's like this. So, and we're running patterns with confirmation like this. I'm watching the Qs right now because I got long down there at 62, 65. And let's see if this turns into anything. This is kind of like the idea of the day, or even our midday dot, if you will. If you don't know what that is. So we utilize harmonic strength index to see, you know, what's developing midday around 12 noon. 5-minute chart. Intraday. What do we have? What's the last signal? Last signal is overbought. So let's see how that shapes up. I'll go to the top of the hour at least, go another 20, 30 minutes, and jump over to crypto shortly. Not a heck of a lot to update other than, you know, the same things we've been talking about with type 1 pausing, looking for downside continuation. That doesn't change. I would love it to, but we got to follow the framework. And for long-term Qs, again, there's your deal. I do expect us to begin the acceleration phase because at least on the weekly, you had an important 3-bar breakdown last week. So Friday triggered it. And that should at least set this off where we continue lower. The other thing to look for, again, with this week is you get under the 50 level on amplified. You're not far away from triggering that larger move down. You know, where you clear out of the 360s, 368, 370, and then we, you know, more like, let's talk about 350. What's up, Neeral? Neeral, contact me. Contact me and I can help you out if we need to get you the correct software solution. All right. Yeah, the one thing, guys, about the Thinkorswim, okay, currently, they have been in a merger talk with Schwab for like 3 or 4 years. And they have not updated Thinkorswim. I know that's going to happen. eventually, but the whole thing got slowed down. That's why we haven't updated HSI or have the same illustrations. So it's similar, but not the same. So just check it out, try it. And again, if you want the multiple software solutions, contact me on the Discord. That's the best way to go. Let's see what happens here. Q's there for the day. Just flatlining. What are we going to do? I'm looking for that to roll over and at least retest one more time this morning. It's midsummer. Let's take a quick look at the SPY. Same type of deal. Yesterday was like a one-off, and we had a few things down there. But right now, SPY just continuing lower against some longer patterns. 5-minute time frame, you have this crab pattern right there around 445, 444. You had a few things, but also notice how lackluster this move is. And I don't think this has done the whole 1-2. If anything, I would want to see this come in like there's your crab from last week and 5-minute. Again, what do we want? We want type 2, meaning really nice pattern, full retests. And that XA level is 443, which we did hit early this morning. Maybe we'll come back retest one more time. And don't forget, if we do break free here, 441 on the SPY, not a crazy thought. The other thing is that the 5-minute bearish patterns continue to yield the bigger moves. We got into that last time of just saying focus on that. We know we're in a type 1 pause, but look, there's about 10 days ago. All right. There's 5 days ago. Bearish pattern, bearish pattern. And then the other one, bullish pattern, type 1 move, and then retest. Type 1 move and retest. So that's a general way to know what we need to do to make this happen. QQQ under 368. Our daily 368 put now in the money, going into the 80-cent range. Folks, remember what I was saying from the seminars. Also, I've mentioned this many times in these sessions about options. I don't care, what it is, what you're doing. Any call premium, put premium, any premium that doubles for you from a trade management perspective, exclusively in options, you're looking to sell half and get into a risk-free position. All right. So anybody that is participating in that, just be aware. We get that breakdown move later into today. That's the strategy. And I would look for, the Qs that they're under 368. Qs here. Where can we go? Likely retest the low 366.50 area. I don't, that's not a crazy thought. The 1-minute time frame. I'm not really a fan of the 1-minute front time frame, but I'll check it because most people do. I prefer the 30-second time frame, believe it or not. But the 1-minute time frame, deep crab. Couple of patterns down here. I think you guys know I like the 5-minute and 30-second time frame for patterns. 5-minute for that direction during the day, and then trigger me something off of a 30-second. So a few interesting things on that 30-second. Same that showed up on the 1-minute. And here we go, breaking down. Nice. I will know if this is a bigger move under 45. Let's watch that fail. And then do the full retest. 366.83. One sec. Hey, what's going on? Drip dried tie dye, 30-second cues, pattern to go. Well, that's why I jumped over to the 30-second time frame, just to show that you have both going on here. So I'm certainly watching. Are we going to get the breakdown now? I would like to see that flush and fail that little micro pattern. But my ultimate objective, for those daily options is to go 366.83 XA test. They're trading 86, 87 cents right now. All right, that's 20 something percent at the moment. Like I said, if they can pop and roll, they can pop and double. I'll take half off. And I'm watching that, but I'm looking for that breakdown right now. A couple of more. What's up? We've got a good crew today. What's going on, everybody? Again, near all, you need to contact me, myself, or Miss Stephanie on the Discord, and we'll help you out for sure. Evan, XRP shorts about to go nuts. Let's see. Couple more. Yeah, I'll run in more on these. Let me finish that list of our tech list. Netflix. Okay, you got that, Ivan. What's going on, Ivan? Netflix. Yeah, we know 387. I mean, I don't even have to look at the chart. 387 is our. If anything, we should look at that little bump today as an opportunity for maybe some puts. We're type 1, 387.70. And it's something where just follow along with me for a while on this as we get down there. But how are we going to get from here to there? So Netflix, interesting stuff. Put in a Gartley, a bullish Gartley. But I still say all these bullish patterns are reactions until we resolve the daily uptrend, the daily retracement reaction. So we get 428.93. I think we just hit that a little while ago. Yeah, we hit 429 is the high. That should be it for this reaction, guys. And then retest the type 2. Even if we were bullish, our framework points us to the retest for the bigger possibility every time. Every time. So favor that. What about a 5-minute here on Netflix? Bunch of bullish patterns. Everyone's been a reaction. And that's just even looking at this, just observing what's going on with these patterns. But, bearish pattern, nice move, retest, bang. Shark, retest, down hard. Bullish patterns, reaction, and then all the way back down. Reaction, and I would think all the way back down. Favor it down. Sometimes this can be tricky to see this, but we've been pretty clear of not only the shift to the pause, retracement, reaction, but favoring these kind of 5-minute structures as continuation lower. That was my hope is we would get some other opportunities to, utilize the strategies from the seminar from 2 weeks ago. Longer term, it's just not there yet. I think it's a bit premature. We're still looking reaction down across the board on these. One or two more. Amazon, Google, I brush by these now frequently. I think this is it for now. I think you got to be kind of just hang in, let Amazon do its retracement. I think you got back-to-back patterns here and enough times transpired. You're not going to blow this hop out. You threatened it, but you're not going to blow that out. QQQ breaking down. So if you're in that Amazon, time to pull it out and let that come in. I would suspect the next opportunity is back at target 1 on 119. Hey, what's going on, Spaz? Spaz, yes, we did briefly look at Microsoft, but I'll bring it up one more time because it's the same kind of a situation. That was number one or number two. Just focus on, if you're looking for the opportunity long, it's until you got to wait until we hit the target one structure and generate some oversold readings on amplified or RSI or HSI. Sorry. This one, I think there's better situations, but check out the 5-minute right now where we are at a type 2 top level 324. So ideally, like all of these that we have really gone through recently, what's there? Just tell me what's there. Pop up the software, tell me what's there. It's a type 2 shark. Not to mention, we have another bullish shark. You have a few things here where that target one's 325. So probably not a bad area to be looking for Microsoft to come back down. A lot like NVIDIA, where NVIDIA popped off of its support, Microsoft's the same thing. 318, short-term support, 325, resistance now. That's it. Let's keep an eye on that one. But that and Google, that's the other one, I think. So all of these major opportunities that were taking shape a year ago, triggered in October, November, and then accelerated in January, they're done. They're done for now. And Google, we can put that in the same category. Look, lots of yellow dots, lots of patterns. I'm not bearish. I'm not super negative. I'm just saying, look, natural market mechanics are back and they're going to digest these structures. They have to. It's just how it goes. Even in a reactive phase like we saw going back in June, where you go from 127, 128 down to 117, a 10-point pullback. 10-point pullback here, no problem. Not a big deal. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's just not a spot where you're looking for longs. That's all right. A few more. I think it's important to line these up. And we're going to get opportunities. Look, I'm firmly in the camp now with these other high flyers that they've gone full type 2 now. Rivian, full type 2. Talk to me at 14. Hate to say it, 14. Full type 2. I'll be patient on it. Neo, 1040, 1030, something like that. Yeah, 1050 is the XA level. Minimum structural retest. So been fairly clear with those. Let them take shape and do their thing. It's a lot like Nike too. Yeah, they got, listen, I just got, once we put in the yellow dot, did the check back, couldn't continue, rolled over. As soon as that was it. As soon as that happened, that was over. Great patterns here, but it's got to go through the type 2. And then a few others that kind of bigger things that have my attention, at least for now. I mentioned Caterpillar and McDonald's last time, and they both were printing, at least Caterpillar here, super strong on the completion post earnings. But it exemplifies what has happened this earnings season. Normally they're either going to, position it into earnings and then sell the news, really common. Okay. Or it's a massive blowout. This was into the zone, but no follow through. And that's why even as strong as this one has been, I would still say, just you see it throughout all these charts, you're in a type 1 retracement reaction. digest those gains, and come all the way back. I mean, it's not a big deal. That was up. It was low to high. Oh yeah, that was up 20 on earnings. Up 20, down 20. That's where we are, and it's different than what we saw the first half of the year. So be ready for that. Again, these pause, just because I'm saying pause doesn't mean we're not going to give back. I mean, we can give back a nice chunk of the gains that we took 6 months to do in 6 weeks. Tesla, another one here. I've been really clear about Tesla as well. 223. 223 on this pause. It's actually looking fairly ugly. I think this thing is a real momentum driven stock. You get sharp moves no matter what the direction is. The thing to consider with Tesla is, and it's a really simple technique, when you get terminal bar, project 30 days out and know that that's your window from a time horizon. Sometimes it's like, how much time do we give these things? Well, within that 30 bar window, looking like on a straight shot to 223, and that 30-day window puts you at 10 days from now. Keep an eye on that. I mean, those are fairly clear here. Okay, before I jump to crypto, just one last look at the Qs since we started that. Okay, the 5-minute time frame. All right, let's watch this. We're trying to put in a 5-minute oversold reading now where we did nothing on this midday dot. And it's August, like I said, but all right, those options are still around 80 cents. Where'd they go? Was that it? Yeah. Yeah, 81, 82. There you go. And I'm on defense right now, so if you're in that, you don't let that become a loss. But pretty much where you want to be until we go into the afternoon here. Let's see what happens on this breakdown. I mean, Qs have broken down, and we're in a nice retracement environment, longer term trend. It's just, is this going to happen now into the afternoon, or is it going to grind sideways? But I feel like we're a pretty good spot at the moment. Okay. I'll give you those two. I know you said BABA before, and I did want to cover BABA. Those Chinese internet stocks, because BABA was our 3 ideas way back from 84 bucks, ran to 100, and it did a shark. And now we're shark to 5.0, but it's still early. So this is not, wasn't really spectacular. I know a lot of people were excited about this. I was looking for something larger up to like 118, didn't get there. So eyes on 90 bucks, has to hold 90 for BABA. Doesn't look too impressive on the long side. And we have, could be, let's go to the weekly chart. There you go. Weekly chart all the way back at 77 is the support. You had yellow dot. But yeah, could be a dud move. Not too impressive to get out of the zone. So at this point, yeah, go on defense from here. And if it does continue to roll over, expect it to give it a full retest. What's the other one you wanted to look at? What's that? Run? Is that, well, that's the sun. Isn't that sun run? Well, that was a big pattern that we talked about last week. And retesting terminal bar at 16. Wasn't there a daily something? I mean, the chart itself looks ugly because it's just continuing to grind lower. Yeah, I would look, 16 is a minimum. That's Sunrun. I think this is what we traced out last time. It was like a month ago maybe, but you know, it was a pop and then a type 2. Interestingly, this first thrust, yeah, that didn't get to the target 1, so it's not an official type 1. That's where it's a type 1. Now it's in type 2 when it gets back to 1465. And in this environment, yeah, favor that. Uh, corn, yeah, corn trader, sure. What's BDRY? Don't know what BDRY is. Breakwave, bulk and shipping. I don't like these. The shipping stocks, I think I got 10 years ago or something. I think I got really burned on one of these shipping type stocks. I think that's why I don't like them. I mean, it was like a penny play. Breakwave joke. Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's other things to trade. I think there's better things. Well, didn't this collapse C limited? Yeah, there you go. And it was a daily bat pattern or something, and it's like a whole bunch of back to back. Yeah, there you go. So C limited was that little daily bat. That's a big shipper, and it has this big weekly. But no confirmation. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the shippers. And I'm not that crazy about Chinese internet stock. I mean, Baba, okay, JD, I've said that before. I'm not crazy about those. All right, one or two more. And then I do want to get to crypto. Hawaiian Electric. Yeah, anyone been to Maui, if you know that place. It's crazy what happened over there. I don't know what this reminds me of California Edison or Con Ed in California when they had their wildfires. There's probably an opportunity. I hate to say that. Is this going out of business? Probably not. But if it's anything like Con Ed, it probably does a full 886. And, I hate to say that when people have suffered, but that's what we do. And so what is it? It's a bat pattern. 16 bucks. I did look at this. Hawaiian Airlines is interesting, even though it's not really Maui specific, but Hawaiian Airlines is doing a retest of a big shark on a monthly, but that's around $5. I thought that was pretty interesting. I noticed some airlines are retesting major patterns. Hawaiian Airlines is down here is 4. Maybe 5 to 7 generally. There's some big patterns there. I'll look. Yeah, weekly shark. Sun Power. Man, I don't, these are cyclical. Now look at these. Sun Power, Sun Run. We've seen, look, these have done how many cyclical runs? And then they do full retracements. Yeah, look, I remember when these, I'm going to date myself here. I do remember when these solar IPOs started coming out and they did a massive boom like that and then a full 886 and then another half a one, full 886, and then finally a third one. Okay, this is 3 in 15 years. This is your general approach, and you see these kind of, all they are is growth cycles. All that is like a unsustainable growth cycle that, talk to me when you get to the 886. That's at $8. Pretty much where you are now. But is there anything there? No. In a lot of these concept stocks, they're going to drag. As long as the market continues to pull back, they're going to drag. Speaking of drag, our options are now a buck. How's everyone doing with that? Qs are going to break down. I like it. Yeah, let's just, listen, we just got to follow a framework. Okay, we had the HSI. Looks like we're checking back now. I said earlier, go to the 30-second chart. We had some patterns we had to retest this morning. What do we got? All right, Gartley's got a retest. Hop 367, 10, and then this deep crab. That would be the play for the day. Longer term into Friday, those kind of options, let's wait and see. SPY's off 40. Qs are down 275, so whoa. Thoughts on AMC? I have no thoughts on AMC. I think those are kind of zombie, unless you're going to day trade that, they become zombie positions. UAA, Under Armour, another low floater. I don't think we want to position anything until we get the market to finish its retracement. It's pretty much, think of it as money flow. The same reason why we want Bitcoin to be jumping before we get aggressive again in this crypto space. Not a lot to go on at the moment. Here are the Qs. 30-second time frame. All right, we just literally 60 seconds ago printed HSI arrow. Now we wait and see. No dot, no check back yet. But that's a good one. Almost a double to the high. And again, you double it, you sell half. And you're definitely on a protective stance at this point. Generally we were on this at 65 cents. Keep an eye. Couple more. What's NVIDIA? We talked about NVIDIA, Evan, and we're looking for that back down for now. Grace Foundation. What's up, Grace? Square is another one. It's got a trigger. We've talked about these like ARC and the rest of them. Square. Oh, a nice 30-second little type 2 for the day. That's interesting, but that's not what we're interested in. We want daily. We need some daily triggers. Let this pull back. I mean, look. That was 80. It's under 60 now. And we do have pattern. Oh, we talked about this last week. Come back, retest at 50, 51. I'm fine on that. That's a lot of these on this retest, that's what we're triggering for. That's what we want to see. Couple more. Yeah, I'll segue with Coinbase. Dragos wants to look at Nat Gas, and I think we should before we get out of here. UNG, after the little perk up last week, we have big patterns here. The problem is we're super dragging after the massive bear market. But recall, this is more like a weekly or a monthly deal where you're retesting big patterns, but all of that's around $7 and it's on UNG. Don't expect much. This is a super long-term swing play where you could stay in that base between $7 and $10 for a year. But that's not what you're playing for. You're here looking for that to end this cycle, consolidate, and then begin some kind of new cycle. But we've had history here before, and just know the last few times we got to that point, like there's a pattern and it went sideways before anything 130 weeks and it didn't yield much. And even in a strong bullish case, You complete there, you go side 100 weeks. Why not? It wouldn't surprise me. I will ask my good friend, who is probably one of the premier nat gas experts in the world, former floor trader. He told me 6 months ago, don't touch it for 6 months because of the supply, and he was dead on. Guy's never wrong. Guy is never wrong. All right, I'm not crazy about the Q options, kids. I think it's time to just kill it. It's coming back against me. I don't like it. That's a shame. I'm going to close that out. Done. I'm out of that. I just scalped out of those Q calls. Q puts, sorry, by the way. I didn't like it. Came back right at 80. It was at $1. That's all right. I had 8. Not a big one. It's not like what's going on right now. That's a shame. That was a nice setup too, but it happens. I said the BDRY. I'm not crazy about the shipping stocks. You want a shipping stock? Go with FedEx or an even better one's UPS. Trade those. Really, you avoid zombie drawdowns. Like some of those low floaters, you get into positions and they don't work out. You're not going to be able to get back on that move. There's FedEx. FedEx, is it that? No, not an 886 yet, but look, FedEx is a perfect type too. A little overbought at the moment, but all right. Go to the 5-minute time frame. You know, more reliable patterns. You have a little pattern right now. Bullish Gartley. UPS, I think, does have some patterns right now. It got hit after earnings. Still getting hit, but there's some things down here. Yeah, take a look. Weekly. Love it. Really nice type 2 bat pattern, so that's one to get on the radar. That's the kind of transportation vehicle I would like to line up. Yes. 167.41. That could become a 3 ideas really soon. What's up? Yes. I think you guys are spamming for this BDRY. I have no idea. Go ahead. Try to spam it. Play it. It's just not good. I think there's better vehicles. And we're not in that environment. We're not in a speculative environment. We stepped out of that 4 weeks ago. Let's jump to crypto. Come on, Bitcoin. Right? Some people say, why even look at this? Well, it's not for right now. It's for what's to come. And so I'll be quick. Even with the little bump last week, we're still in a type 1 28.3. Number 2, XRP. That's probably the news, is that XRP is going to become number 2, even over Ethereum. I think the attention paid to it is, way more right now than Ethereum. But we're still going to wait for patterns and setups. Look, XRP is just not doing any development. And we got a yellow dot on the daily here a couple days ago and rolling over. I think 886, a full 886, that's around 50 cents, 52 cents. I will have a position going into next year. I just haven't started to open it. Also, this still remains our kind of longer term guide, if you will, no matter what, that this bat pattern, as I mean, it couldn't be more ideal, at least for the type 1 hit to 92.8, 92.9 cents. So we talked about that for the first 6 months of the year. The high was 94, 95, depending on your data feed. And so in these situations, when you get rejected, clearly rolling back down to retest the levels, which your XA level is 37.4. I just want to get on record here for that type 2 that's not crazy. So don't rush into anything. I think there's plenty of time for something larger. And if you want to be looking at least for minimum targets, I would want to see, we have a daily oversold just registered. I would love to see a better development and have amplified, kind of do something like this and then get above the 50. It's just languishing right now. So you don't have a lot of reason to jump into it. Not yet, but I'm watching. And we'll see how that plays out. But this is another type 2, potential type 2, like so many type 2s that we've seen before. And I do think that, you're strategizing for something like this in terms of a crypto play, even against that pattern, which is a great minimum and reminds me of Bitcoin like 4 years ago. But it's, like this, where you do have the ability with a B point now, where you go back-to-back patterns. And I'm okay with that. 180, 175. We're projecting out, really going quite a ways out. But that has the structural beginnings to do something like that. And I think there's plenty of time. And let's see how this shapes out. But I also think that it'll be something where you just follow what we've seen before, thrust, sideways, thrust, and then full correction. Thrust, sideways, thrust. Thrust, sideways, thrust. And that's how crypto moves. And if we get some super move, understand that structurally those targets don't change either, even in your best of hope. So we're assuming a lot here, but just to trace out how these could potentially come together, even if you do your W formation there, where it's a potential Gartley at 270 or intermediate bat at 180, it gives us enough to go on. It's constructive enough. It's not like, I don't know, Cardano. Although I'm looking at Cardano longer term, it's probably a better chart. XRP is a better chart than Cardano. There's Cardano. And we're back at 28 cents. So now the long-awaited 28. I'm trying to get a long. There you go. That's not even a long. Trying to get. That's a little better. Binance feed. Okay, 2 of 2 on the daily is here at 28. There you go. Let's look for HSI to come in, and it still hasn't triggered yet, but we're really close on that as well. Not a problem. But that's what we're looking for. XRP is better because you go to the weekly chart. The weekly chart's made a few attempts. XRP has barely even broken out of this downtrend. I mean, we could stretch it to here, there, even in that last little bump. Need progress. I'm not, we said this months ago, there wasn't a lot of crypto doing much that would give you something to base off of. Couple more. Drip dried tie dye. What's up? How many shows, drip dried? How many shows have you seen? You know what I'm saying. Do we look for a 30-second type 2 at 370 on QQQ? I think you could get another one. On the QQQ, though, for those puts, let's go to the Fridays. Today's options are spent. You're going to need more time. And those were, yeah, there's the, see, it's already all the way back for a retest. Here's the Fridays. Where's the Fridays? There's that's a Thursday call. I'll come back to that. I'll finish up with that because I do want to see if we get another opportunity here. Evan, thank you, my man. You have a good afternoon. A couple more on the crypto. Let's look at those, the few that popped, and what are they doing now? You know, BCH. Pop and roll, needs to hold 220. It is so far. And 220 was this. A bunch of oversold daily. That's, you know, look, that's a prime example of giving this enough time after the massive spike. Even go from the spike and go 30-day window. There it is. There's 30 days. Within that window. All right. I'm watching. I said to you guys, I'm watching that closely. If that was just a big spike and rollover. Same way compound. Same deal. What's my concern here is you don't hold that and you do full retest at 33. Here's something that moved in the last 2 days. We haven't looked at it in a while, but it was something of a 3 ideas way back. It was a deep crab on H bar. And it's like this. So big weekly pattern. Terminal bar was at 4.4 cents. It bounced. Okay, but you're still looking for that to do something much larger. No reason to chase any of that. I mean, really. And there isn't a heck of a lot that would have distinguished that from these others. It's just, you know, your crypto of the day making its move. But, all right, the big pattern there. Longer term, I don't know if you're into that, but you do. That's one that does have a pattern. Leo, 65 fish shows. Wow. I saw them only a couple times. My first fish show was like, what was it, 91? I'm really going to date myself. I really don't know their music as much, though. Zcash, kids. Here you go. It's another one, like compound. Is it ever going to do anything? Maybe off of a retest, 28. You know, this is another one where it's a different chart than most. Simply, you know, series of lower highs, lower lows. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Those are clear signs of just patient. I'd rather have that break out to the right. That's funny, James. Couple more on those. Sure, Phantom is a retest. I know that's big patterns. And that's actually, Phantom is a great one because it does have these back-to-back patterns looking left on the daily. 21, 22 cents. You're there. But how long will you be there? How long will you sit there? There's the weekly. Maybe you're like one more bullish week. You are from a yellow dot. So consider that. That's why when I say we still need more time, to be positioning into September, October for next year, that's a perfect case. If you don't have it, just patience with it. Got you, Brandon. Brandon wants to look at Maker. I want to look at Maker. Another sleeper. Maker is, it's like there's a class of those that are all, Zcash compound. That one looks a little better in the longer term because, there's a chart that's done things. That's actually, I think, a lot more constructive than a lot of charts we're looking at that just flatline. Yeah, there was a pattern. Look at there was a bat pattern down there. God, see? Bat pattern goes sideways for a year. Type 1. Okay, then type 2 with confirmation right at 648. And this is what I mean by wanting structures when you look left. Because even if you were there at the first confirmation, that was March. You didn't turn around until 3 months later. And then finally 6 months later, you're back. I think you're hitting some levels here where I would look at that as potential resistance. 1300, no doubt. Definitely. But that is another one where when we look left weekly and, Maker was 6,000 and it did the T coin 90% pullback, at least you got some patterns where you want to speculate for next year. Speculate off of these type 2s. Speculate off of those that have price history based in there. Not done much. You know what? I gotta take it off. Nice. One or two more. Matic is another one coming in. A lot of people like this. I gotta say, retest the butterfly, please. 50 cents. You do have a lot of structures. Let's just line them up. Because I do think a bunch of these that are in the process of retesting are going to come in now and finish what they need to do between now and the end of the year to give you that perfect type 2 confirmed opportunity. Yeah, 1300 on Maker. I agree with that. Hey, Martin on Stellar Lumens. And this was a 3 ideas way back when. And it's, like the rest of them, did the pop, but now just rolling back over. And I think you got to let that come all the way back down. Look, there was 2 of 2s there. These were the arrows we traced out. And then finally you got the massive move. But that's it. And I would not be surprised to see a thing come all the way back. It was off of this crab pattern. And that crab pattern has an XA level at 11 cents. So even if that, no matter what happens with Stellar Lumens, the retest, let's say forget all the news with XRP because this benefited on that news. Even if we were looking for a long-term entry, it's back here. It's back here. Check it out. I think here we go again with the Qs rolling over back under 368. What are we going to do? Such a weak day. Well, we might look at those 368s one more time. Let me see here. Just want to peek on that. These are the Friday puts. And I'm looking at the Friday puts to get back to 208. Almost got there this morning. Let's be patient. Be patient. It's quiet. All right, let's finish up crypto and get out of here because it's, it's getting boring. One or two more. So one I talked about a while back was this Pepe. I didn't bring it up. Someone brought it up. It was oversold. Again, this and Doge, you're just speculating. And I think with these kind of moves, all you want to do, or you actually, if you, for those outside the United States, if you're going to trade these, I would leverage up, but just trade the segments. You know, Pepe, ideal short, down to 1,300 or 13 millionths of a cent, whatever it is. It's probably the best you're going to do in these ranges. Really quick, Doge, which I said, even on the last pop, let that come all the way back down, almost there again. And 7 cents. 7 cents. Doesn't change. It's, there you go. There are a bunch of patterns. Even this year, 3 patterns. Back to back of that bat pattern is like 6.5 cents. So you see how all of these are coming in there, but they got to go lower to complete, to do it. One or two more. Hey, Tupaj, before I get out of crypto, I know you put this one in a few times, and I don't know what this is. Casbah. And it's only on the 3. Okay, it popped. See, how do we find things like that before they move? That's my question. How do you find something like that before it moves? And that's a pop and roll. So I don't just use that as kind of an example. A deep crab on this other one, without even looking at a pattern. I know that it's a pop and roll situation. Not that great. Hey, check it out. Qs are rolling over. Let's jump back here really quick and wrap it up. Thursday, we'll be back. We'll give away some books and gold memberships. I will do one more seminar, like I said, on options. It'll be probably right after Labor Day. I'll let you guys know about that. Let me think about that. Here are the Qs. Back under 368 for the day. Those are the daily options we've been looking at for today. What about the 30-second time frame? Even in a... What's going on there? Yeah, we're going to roll back down. There you go. Now you're rolling back down. 367.55 on that Gartley minimum. I think you hit that now. The problem with that, I was on those daily options. I told you guys about 30 minutes ago. I got out of that. Just take a look. Keeping it real. This is why. Look, I scaled out. It went to $1. I scaled out around 81 cents, and it flushed down. All right, I never want to go back to a losing position with options. And I'm fine with what happened here. I'll look for, like I said, let's look for the Fridays. Give it a little bit more time. And even if this was a Friday, I'd look for target too. You know, the fact that the SPY is still down 40, which is where we started today, nothing to speak of there that suggests any strength. Brandon, you got it, man. I said I would segue. I'll segue out of crypto with Coinbase. And just a few of those. Here's Coin. Back down at 80. Didn't break out. But there's HSI finally today. Oh, that's not the daily. Here's your daily chart. Nothing on Coinbase yet. I really, it's kind of like overstock. It caught my attention, and I hit that a few times on some 5-minute patterns, but nothing really generated quite yet on longer term. Yeah, not a lot. I mean, look, there was another bullish pattern, spike up and back down. This would be the time to be looking, though. If these come all the way back in, that whatever this correction is, I'm looking. MicroStrategy, like for just projecting forward, looking at next year. If that Bitcoin cycle really takes shape, what do we have here going into that time frame that would give us a bullish opportunity? Nothing yet. 408 at the moment is caps it. Yeah, we did get oversold recently. I'm just not there yet. Not there. We have to be patient with this stuff. If we don't get really clean triggers, we're going to be in early. Oh, here you go. Okay, 4-hour time frame. Nice Gartley off the top, but check out what happened. Counter trend HSI there and there. So even in the short term, I'll look at 365. Not a heck of a lot to go on. We're like I said, the summer action is going to keep this muted for now. Doesn't mean we're not on our toes. One or two more. Patrick, what's up? You want to look at Hut? Hut and Clean Spark. Here's Hut. Those were kind of similar. Hut did a... There you go. It's a bat. There you go. Target one now. Okay. That kind of reminds me of Clean Spark like a week or 2 weeks ago. So look at Clean Spark. There's the type 1 coming back for the type 2. And there's the arrows. XA's level at $7. You made a run there this morning. Not quite yet. That's what I'm looking for in these. If it's Coinbase or if it's MicroStrategy or Overstock. Overstock's the other sleeper that I want to, give me something. All right, daily yesterday, HSI. Oh, it's a shark to 5.0. So let's go to the 5.0 at $25. Again, I want to demand only the best setups. Might not get there. I think it will. I think you'll go to a 5.0, and that structurally sets you up to then do something else. All of them are getting like that. Drip dried. No worries on Riot. Give that time. Look, I know we talked about that. Wasn't Riot like 14? There's something on the 4-hour. It's just not yet. It's not yet with all of these. I'm okay with it. Qs are breaking down now. And so let's come back to that. Look, there's the QQQ. Oh, I kind of like that. I would stretch this out to Fridays, though. Go to the Friday puts if we're going to play it so that we can get some action. Enough time for the Type 2 to really take shape. And even if, those are the 368s. Like, let's say we get some movement and we break down for the week. What do the 365s look like? The 365s are even better. Like at 170. So that's, we want to stay with that preference, if you will. Okay, one or two more, then I got to get out of here. No, well, drip dried on extended hours. I am on extended hours for that. Jackie, what's up? How are you, my friend? What do you think about the small bullish bat on GameStop? I don't think much. Be careful of the zombie plays. Oh, Riot was regular trading hours. That's what you're saying here? I don't think so. Not yet. But GME, I guess because of today's big drop. Didn't GME have something big? Or was that was AMC? Well, GME, a 4-hour bat, but I would take a look at the daily because the daily had some things that, we haven't really gotten away from. And I think this smaller shark crab pattern, you come back to 15. You're 19 at the moment. It's just nothing to go on, nothing to jump into. Tup, wasn't that a player last week? Tupperware, probably straight up, straight down. Yeah, I mean you can't touch that. It's really tough to touch that. And if anything, you're just looking for short-term moves. I don't, nothing there at the moment. CJ wants CCL. I'm gonna have to. If I'm gonna take this many requests, maybe it's time for a tip jar. I don't know, but I'm happy to do so. CCL. I like it. I'm looking for the pullback. But why? Because we've got a lot of patterns on the left side. That ever since the $10 test, and I think it's a weekly situation too. You're looking for that to be a cycle turnaround. There it is. Yeah, but that unfortunately that's only a type 1 on Carnival. This is something where we stick to the framework. What would you say about that? I'd say it's a strong reaction. And it's rolling over. If it was going to be more, it would follow through well above 20. And so that's going to need more time at a minimum. Not a heck of a lot to go on. Yep. The 182s, the 365. Interesting. Look at that. That's the Friday option. Yeah, the Qs are starting to roll over again. That's the play, folks. Listen, it's not easy. It's not easy on this. But we're trying to get from one point to the next. We have gyrations in between. But that's what we have to. We got to focus on what's important to sort out the mess. So here's the 5-minute. Yeah, there you go. There's your futures rolling over. Definitely. I do like when these get going, and in the summer sessions too, folks. Listen, you can get a lot of action in the last hour. That's what could be happening today. And I wanted to highlight, I talked about this morning. These are the patterns for the week to consider. 15,000 on the downside for the week is what's really holding this in for now. And I would continue to play it like that. Any long opportunities, I still think need time. But if we frame that out, it's pretty clear where we are. And then longer term, again, I started this morning. I started today with this. So this is a really substantial situation going on Nasdaq. Massive bat pattern, but the fact that we printed this counter trend HSI signal pushing us back into this zone says more time and trigger some kind of oversold reading. Look at what we're doing. This is what guides me to the fact that we could make a run at the hop. By the time we're in here on Thursday, this could likely run to the hop before you get a reaction off the pattern. Respect it. Really. I just want to see this thing at least generate something oversold before I would say, okay, that's it for now, or whatever the correction was that started end of last month is over. You go to the hourly. Nothing there yet. You got it. Jackie, next time. Jackie, if you want a tip jar, just do yourself a favor and subscribe to the software. That's the way to go. Definitely. Appreciate it, though. And Edward, let's look at gold and those other ones on Thursday. The story doesn't change. Look, all the big moves that we talked about hasn't changed. Probably the most aggressive move that's happened in the last 2 weeks is the QQQ switch and Nasdaq switch to going into this type 1 pause reaction just to digest the bigger structures. And until we can get an oversold reading, guys, just ride it. It's okay. I mean, this is part of the deal. And we're not, there's not much there yet. So it actually, if you can let go of the long positions for now and just favor those sell on the rally, much like, BTFD most of this year, I think you'll be okay with it all. And I'm targeting as low as 354 now. 363, I think by Friday is a good number. That's why I'm reaching for those out of the money puts. Let's see how it shapes up. You guys have any further questions, get over on the Discord. I appreciate that. And we'll get into more of this on Thursday. Okay? Thanks again, folks. Reach out to me. Get over to Harmonic Trader. I'm going to think about this option presentation for September. Maybe we'll do it on the daily. We did medium term. We did longer term. Maybe we do the daily options like, daily QQQ and SPY like this, the 368 put. Not a bad way to go. With the software, the levels are really defined. It's up to you is to execute at those levels, and maybe that could be a good material for the next one. You guys think about it. Let me know what you want to see. All right, until next time, have a great one. Go get them. We'll see you Thursday, 12 noon. Thanks again.